Welcome to our next lesson, Year 7 Maths, where we're going to talk about addition of integers, addition of whole numbers. Okay, so here we are on our learning guide. We're up to around about week 4 in the term, give or take. Alright, so what we start with here is just an idea of which numbers are bigger or smaller than other numbers. So if we look at our first one, we've got a 4 and a 1. Now we know that 4's there and 1's there on our number line, so we know that the 4 must be bigger, and it says to use greater than or less than symbols to tell us to make the statement true. Well, we know 4's bigger than 1, so we would put the symbol like that. You may recall those symbols that in primary school we had like a scenario where we had, like, say, a crocodile or something like that, and he'd try to eat the bigger number and leave the smaller number on that side. Another way of saying that is this is the larger side of the symbol and this is the smaller side of the symbol. So the larger number goes on the bigger side, the smaller number goes on the other side. In B, we've got two 7s. Are they neither greater than or less than the other? They're both the same, so we'd say that they're equal to each other. But in C, we've got a -6 and a 0. 0 is here, -6 is down there on our number line. All right. Now, what I didn't explain was the further this way we are, the bigger the number. The further down that way, the smaller the number. So 0 is greater than -6. 0 is a bigger number than -6. -6 looks like it's got a 6 in there and it should be a bigger number, but it is a -6, so therefore it's a smaller number. Same in D, we've got 5 and 8. Let's have a look at our number line. 5's in there, -8 is right down there. -8 is closer to the smaller end, so therefore he's a smaller number, so 5's bigger. All right, and you can have a go at the other ones. -2 is a bigger number than -6. Put them on the number line and you'll see -2 is further to the right and -6 is further to the left. And in F, well, the positive number is bigger than the negative number. All right, so number lines just make it easy for us to use integers. All right, it makes it easy to visualize exactly what's going on with our integers and work out where numbers sit, which are bigger and which are smaller. Like it says here, to add a positive integer, so add a positive number, we're moving to the right. To add a negative number, we're moving to the left. Let's have a look. So not write number sentences is what the question asks us. So just write a sum to show these problems. All right? And it's addition problems. So the symbol in the middle of our sum is going to be an addition. We're going to have some number plus some number equals an answer. It's going to be a plus sign in the middle there. All right, so let's have a look at this. The little froggy starts off at -2 and he ends up at -6. All right, so we're going to start at -2 plus something and we're going to equal -6. All right, so what did we do? To get from -2 to -6, we went 1, 2, 3, 4 steps down. So in other words, we went -4. So we started at -2, we went down another 4, that's -4, and we equaled -6. And that's what we've got written here. Let's try the other one. We're starting at -2, so we've written that down, plus, now how far did we go? Well, we went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So that's -2 plus +5 equals +3. Let's try some more. Write number sentences. So in the first one, we start at -4 plus, how far did we go? 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. So we plussed +4 equals, and we ended up at 0. It's probably not necessary to put that plus sign in there to show that it's a +4, but I just did it to show you how I did it. All right, in B, we start at -1, we end up at +2. So if we start at -1, -1's the first thing we write down, plus, how far do we go? 1, 2, 3. And we ended up at 2, or +2. If there's no symbol written in there, it's assumed that that's a positive. Same with these ones. All right, pause the video if you like and have a go at them, and then I'll go through the answers. So in the first one, we start at -1. We jumped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. So we added on 6 and we ended up at +5. Kind of another way to think about that is between 0 and -1 is 1. Between 0 and 5 is 6. 1 there plus 5 there is 5 steps. The two of them added together gives me the 6. All right, next one, we're starting at -6. So from -6 to 0 is 6 steps. From 0 to 4 is another 4 steps. 6 plus 4 is 10. And we ended up at +4. All right, and the last one, we start at -3. We end up at 0. There's 3 steps in there. So -3 plus 3 equals 0. All right, another way to think about this if you don't want to draw a number line is the idea of a sign model, okay? So we think about it like this. A -4 we could represent by 1, 2, 3, 4. A +1 we could represent by a plus. And then it's a matter of just looking at it and seeing what cancels out. That one can cancel out that one, and what have I got left? I've got 3 negatives. 3 negatives is like -3. And that's what we've got here. 4 negatives, 1 positive, cross them out. We've got 3 left there. -4 plus +1 equals -3. And same in the next one. You've got a +5 and a -3. So there's 5 pluses, 3 minuses. You can see we cancelled out and left us with 2 positives. So my answer is +2. So all you do is you go equals +2. And that's what's written down here. We can do the same here. -3 plus +2. What cancels out? That one and that one, that one and that one. And I'm left with one negative. -1. Okay? Same with this one. You can have a go at it. And you'll see that's the answer. You can have a go at these ones again. I can see those two cancel with those two, leave me with one negative, -1. Same with this one and the same answer. All right, you can have a go at those ones, but they're the same as what I've been doing on the previous slides. If you do a positive and negative thing where you you cancel them out, a bit like this doesn't work, try the number line approach, see what works for you. Okay, so we can add integers using a number line or a sentence or a sign model. Adding opposites always ends up in 0, so such as the example I had before, -3 plus +3 is going to equal 0. If there is no sign, assume that the number is positive. Sometimes you'll see the symbols like here written slightly above, particularly the negatives slightly above, so it's not confused with the minus sign because it does make a difference as we go into further maths. All right, have a go at these ones. Write these in ascending order. So ascending means smallest to biggest. So if you look at your number line, the ones further down this end are the smallest, and the ones further this way are the biggest. Okay, so -3 is my first one because it's the furthest to the left. -1 comes next because that would be next on the number line as I move from left to right. 2 comes next, 3 comes next. In this one, -8 will be first, -5, -3, 2, and 5. The next question is the opposite, but going the other way. Descending order, descending from going from biggest down to smallest. You can have a go at that one. All right, you can have a go at these ones as well. They're the same as what we've done. Have a try. I'll just do a couple of them. -5 plus -2. So I'm at -5 and I'm subtracting 2 more. I'm down to -7. It's like they're both negatives, right? So I'm going to end up with a negative number like there. And it's like I've got 5 plus 2 gave me the 7. Remember, when I add opposites, it equals 0. Make sure you can have a go at these yourselves and come up with some answers. All right, now with our last one down here, let's have a look at that one on the number line. We start at 7 and we add 1. That's just 7 plus 1, 8. And then we subtract 9. So we go back 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where am I at? I'm now at -1. Okay. Same with the other one. If I did H using our symbols, I've got a +2, 2 pluses. I've got a -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. If I do that one, those two cancel those two, and I'm left with 3 negatives. And then I'm going to subtract 2 again. So I'm going to add on another 2 negatives. How many have I got in total? 3 of them plus 2 of them gives me 5 of them. So I'm at -5. Okay. Have a go at this problem before you look at any sort of answer. -4 plus 9 is the problem I've got. It's like these 4 negatives will take 4 negatives out of him. And what have we got? We've got 5 left over. So the answer is +5. All right, it's like I turned that around the other way. 9 minus 4. It's the same thing as -4 plus 9. Okay? So I'm at a positive number, so the positive team's going to win. The 9 positive people are going to outweigh the 4 negative people. Okay? So which team wins? The positive team. By how much does the winning team outnumber the losing team? It outnumbers them by 5. There's 5 people on there's 9 people on the positive team, only 4. It means that these guys have got an extra 5. So there's 5 it outweighs by. The answer is +5. Okay, let's have a go at some questions. Try these ones in the middle here. Thanks a lot.